Hi, folks. Carolyn here to look at the Xbox One UI. I'm joined by Mary. Mary, thanks for sitting in with me.
Hey, Carol.
We're starting off on the lovely greens
It's
here
so lush.
of Power Star Golf, but we're going to just quit right out of this and into the Xbox One UI. So your game goes into a kind of standby mode in this really nice window right here. And and from here you can kind of just pop around and access all sorts of different things. We'll maybe start off by taking a look at the settings, which are, like, down here is going to be some of the stuff that you've most recently used.
Right.
So easy access for, things that you've recently accessed. So settings, for instance, this is where you have access to all kinds of stuff that you might expect. Preferences, let's see.
What do you prefer?
Yeah. Do you prefer to show Skype notifications or not? All this kind of stuff. Smart glass connections, or that's a thing now that we all have to think about and deal with.
It's future-proof.
So yeah, those kind of standard preferences that you might expect. Let's see, system data and whatnot. Typical kind of info, TV, and one guide. Let's
see what's in
see
here.
if we can get a sense of what this is. So this is, I think, if you have a TV signal coming in, this is where you'll be able to kind of do things like just see what's on TV, access different programs and channels and things like that.
That's right, because they kind of want this to be a hub where you don't really ever actually don't have it on.
That's
You'll
right.
access your TV and your music and everything.
They really want to make it easier to watch television than it's ever been before. So just pretty much, I think, what the sorts of things you might expect here available in the settings menu. Let's see. We can go to maybe take a look at, like, My Games and Apps, which is where other things that maybe you haven't looked at or used recently.
We're not really
access
sure
those.
which one of these came with the Xbox, or that you may have downloaded a few of these.
Sure, I mean, yeah, right. Well, this Xbox has been floating around the GameSpot offices a bit, so I don't know exactly what the suite of apps is that you'd get, just out of the box, and what stuff you have to install. I mean, Crimson Dragon obviously doesn't come pre-installed or anything. But
hopefully Ted does.
yes, I mean, I would hope so. We're all big fans of TED Talks. And then there's this option here. Well, let me show you what happens if you actually go into your profile from here. So I think this is kind of neat. It has a really kind of detailed activity feed of what
my friends.
Yeah, what your friends have been up to. I'm really into stalking my friends online, so I get all kinds of information on.
I really, I can't eat or sleep unless I know what Danny O'Dwyer's been playing.
That's right. Yeah, he started using Hulu Plus. Welcome to America, Danny.
Wow, 22 minutes ago he was in Hulu Plus, and 20 minutes ago he was playing for Need for Speed. He was not.
He was not enamored with Hulu Plus, apparently, and I guess apparently Hulu Plus achievements are a thing. We see here that Chris Waters has unlocked a few Hulu Plus achievements.
He's an achievement hunter, so he's going to go after all the Hulu achievements.
That's right.
And the Netflix achievements.
And if you select a friend, you can kind of do all this typical.
Like, I saw you playing Need for Speed, but you didn't invite me.
Yeah,
like, what's up
jerk.
with that?
And so you see their recent
you.
activity. See that Danny has a good reputation, but not a flawless one. He still could work on that.
As expected.
His reputation could be better. And then so now, I guess with the Xbox One, rather than friends strictly being like a two-way street, you can now have followers also, which is more like a Twitter thing, where you're not friends with them, but they follow you. And so I haven't really had a chance to apply that much or get a sense of exactly what it entails to follow someone who is not your friend, but that's a thing. There's now two distinct categories, friends and followers.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what ends up coming on your feed more, the hierarchy and the algorithms they apply to followers and friends.
Yeah. And one thing that I think is really neat is the game DVR, which is so the Xbox One can record gameplay video, and if you go in here, like I can see that my friend Maxwell McGee has been taking some clips from Killer Instinct,
and you can watch those.
Yeah, I can just jump right in and watch one of these if I want to, and this is not a very interesting clip, Maxwell, but.
I don't know why he shared that.
Yeah, I think he was just testing the functionality or something. That was a 7-second clip
That's gonna
of
harm
nothing.
his reputation.
But let's just, show like a slightly more interesting clip. So I've been playing some Power Star Golf.
I heard you're pretty good, Garo.
I'm not bad. And this game does something that I expect a lot of games will do, which is like when you do something that the game thinks is especially cool or noteworthy, the game automatically cuts a clip of it. So like this clip of me getting a hole-in-one, I didn't have to stop playing and say, oh, I want to save that. The game automatically cut that. And then if you don't want it, I mean, it will automatically expire, I think, and just go away after a certain amount of time, but you can also just save it and hang on to it. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. And of course, you can upload those, and there'll be various ways of sharing them with people that I don't think we can test out right now, but
it's important that we can rub it in your friends' faces.
Yeah,
about
exactly.
How good you are, though.
Look at this hole-in-one I got, punks.
Punks?
Yeah, I know. I actually think the bragging rights potential of the DVR thing is pretty neat. So let's, so we can back out of this, and so then there's Snap, which is an interesting. We don't have a Kinect hooked up here in the room where we're looking at this UI stuff, and Snap does make use of Kinect functionality, but you can also kind of get a sense of it without having a Kinect hookup.
Right, it still works.
Yeah. So let's say, for instance, I don't know, that I really wanted Netflix access while I'm playing Power Star Golf for some reason.
Because it's like, I'm playing Power Star Golf, but like, you really, really wanted to watch, the last episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog, and I was like, I'm in the middle of this.
Yeah.
I really don't have time.
That's right.
And then you can kind of like appease both people.
That's right. One person's going to get maybe the better end of the deal here, I think. But so let's go. If we go into Power Star Golf, which was just like standing by that whole time, so I can resume my game over here.
Well, it's like we never left.
Yeah, and then over there on the right, there's the Snap app of Netflix. With the option to go to full screen, just kind of sitting there.
I'm incredibly entertained by it.
Yeah, there's probably a way to interact with that. But it's there. Snap app. You can have an app like along the side of whatever game you're playing, and so then other stuff in the. Yeah, let's unsnap. Get out of here, Netflix.
Do you remember the first time TVs had picture-in-picture and cable,
oh
and like
God.
all the families got super excited because
like,
the parents could watch football,
totally.
the kids could
And then that's
shut up and watch their cartoons and stuff like that. It was the best.
Totally, that was good times.
Good times.
So a lot of the typical kind of like you see on the Xbox 360 dashboard, these kind of ads, touting various things.
That's
you
right.
can go into different stores here, like the game store.
I love how they've started. It's like one large picture, and then they have it each time.
Yeah.
Each time they get smaller, but if it continues in that trend, it'll actually just never end.
Right, it's just smaller and smaller and smaller. But and then recommendations here. Although I have no idea what these recommendations are based on because
Why?
Because it says based on. Because I've played Aces of the Galaxy and R-Type Dimensions.
Those are exactly like Lococycle.
Yeah, see, those games are actually kind of good, and Lococycle kind of sucks, unfortunately. So I would not recommend Lococycle, but the Xbox One is recommended.
Maybe they use the same algorithm as Netflix recommendations, which
Yeah.
are also poor and have nothing to do with what I actually
If you
want.
like games with strong, smart, talking female motorcycles, you might like Lococycle. So this is the games store here.
It's very picture heavy, very
visual, visually oriented. You have other stores here. The App Store, which has lots of stuff.
All the popular ones.
Skype functionality is a big thing that Microsoft is touting. But though I'm not gonna set up a Skype account here, but that's a thing that. you can do on the Xbox One now.
That's right, for full video chat with your friends and family.
So that's kind of a look here at the Xbox One UI, and let's see if we can just really neat for me the fact that you can kind of leap out of whatever game you might be playing, do a bunch of stuff, and then come back and just kind of resume right where you left off. I think that's really cool. So it looks very
nice shot, Kara.
Thanks, Mary. Yeah, it looks very kind of. It's just kind of a very Microsoft-y interface.
Very boxy.
Very boxy. But effective, I think. And so that's a look at the Xbox One UI. We'll be bringing you a lot more coverage of the Xbox One hardware very soon. We've got a live stream happening this evening where Chris Waters and others are going to take a look at the hardware in more detail. And just stay tuned to GameSpot for more coverage.
Yeah, thanks for the tour, Kara.
Thank you, Mary.